Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Zen and Zazen class. Last week I was away to Chigenji, my monthly visit. I give a talk in Japanese there once a month. And until yesterday, Xuan and myself were in Antaiji for the November retreat. And Xuan yesterday taught 1 hour Ashtanga class in the meditation hall in Antaiji. For those of you who missed it, we streamed it live and you can still see the live stream. 1 hour Ashtanga, half primary. And today we are back. And as always, let's first sit for half an hour. And after that, I want to read and talk about some quotes by Sawaki Roshi from this book to you. But first, let's sit together for half an hour.
老师刚才就简单的说了一下，我们前两天在安泰寺，然后做了接心，昨天早上还一块练了瑜伽，就是临走之前，大家一块上了口令课，然后我们今天还是前面30分钟先坐禅，然后后面一起读那个突用那本书啊。
Thank you very much. Last time I was talking about that Japanese phrase, Jimi Tokudo Sendota, the wish to help others before oneself. So this week I want to return to you. And I think last time we stopped on page 14. So I will start at the bottom of page 14. We live in group stupidity and confuse this insanity with true experience. It is essential that you become transparent to yourself and wake up from this madness. One at a time, people are still bearable, but when they form cliques, they start to get stupid. They fall into group stupidity. They are so determined to become stupid as a group that they found clubs and pay membership dues. Zazen means taking leave of group stupidity. So here again, you want to translate first? Here again, Sawaki Roshi talks about group stupidity. That we are, blinded by those glasses that, probably start to put on once we're 3, 4, 5 years old. We learn to say I and you. We learn to understand that tomorrow is just another day and that we have to do homework so that we can go to school tomorrow. We see things through these glasses of group stupidity, or another metaphor that I always use is we learn to play the game. One at a time, people are still bearable, but when they form cliques, they start to get stupid. They fall into group stupidity. They even found clubs and pay membership dues. Zazen means taking leave of group stupidity. Zazen means to quit the game. But often we realize that even when we do Zazen, we continue to play that game. And we form a Zazen group. We meet on Zoom. And you don't have to pay membership for this Zazen class, but some people of you donate afterwards, and I'm thankful for that. But then it becomes a membership. I've donated so much. And in other groups, you actually have membership fees. Why do we do that? Because we're so happy to be part of the group. So even here, in a Zoom group like this, we have to be careful. Do we only attend because we want to be a member of the group? On the other hand, I don't want to talk so much because otherwise Xuan might have difficulties later translate. But there's the other side of this group stupidity. Okay, we know. But on the other hand, would we be able to continue with this kind of practice only by ourselves? Probably, if it's about half an hour of sitting every week, or maybe even every day, we can do that by ourselves. But if we want to do something like the sesshin that ended yesterday in Antaiji, 5-day sesshin, we can't do that by ourselves. So when people form groups, in a way that can lead to stupidity, but on the other hand, without the help of the group, it would be very difficult to continue with this practice. So I think for this reason, in Buddhism, we talk about three jewels or 3 treasures. The first one is the Buddha, the second one is the Dharma, and the third one is the Sangha, the community of practitioners. And sometimes people say, well, I understand that the Buddha and the Dharma are important, but why should I have respect for the Sangha? When I go to the Zazen group, I see only human beings, just ordinary human beings. I don't understand why I should have the same respect that I have for Buddha and Dharma, for the Sangha. But the answer is, without the help of the Sangha, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be able to do this practice. So groups can be dangerous, but also we should be thankful for the assistance that we have from the other practitioners.
我们今天继续说，之前那本书，我先跟大家简单的翻译一下，就是老师书上那个之前叫什么泽木老师他写的内容哈。我们生活在一个集体的愚昧当中，我们总是被这个现实所困惑，就是这个疯狂的现实所困惑。但是呢，这又是一个非常基础的，就是当我们能够看清你自己，或者是从这个愚昧当中，从这个疯狂的现实当中醒过来，也是一个基础，就是你肯定会醒过来的。如果一次只有一个人的时候呢，大家是可以忍受的。但是当这些人成为一个派别的时候，就是这些人在一起的时候，成为一个派系的时候呢，就会开始变得很愚昧。他们会很容易陷入一个集体愚昧当中。他们做一些决定，就是让这个集体领着你去做一些非常愚昧的决定。比如说让你去加入一些什么组织啊、什么会啊，或者是交会员费。而坐禅呢，就是让我们从这个集体的愚昧当中解脱出来，离开这个集体的愚昧，大概是这个意思哈。然后老师说，我们今天那个集体愚昧，其实我们小的时候呢，在2、3岁的时候，你就分清了我、你还有他，就是你就分清了2、3岁的时候就分清了我是我，你是你，他是他，他们是他们哈，分清了这些。然后慢慢的上学了之后呢，你又学会了时间概念，时间的概念，比如昨天、今天还有明天。比如明天我要上学，然后今天我在干什么？你慢慢的，你是在集体当中学会了这些事情。也就是说，我们是在一个集体当中学会了这些社会的游戏，就是我的事情、你的事情，然后我今天要做什么，明天要做什么，这些都是在一个集体当中学会的。而而坐禅呢，老师说他是为了让你脱离这个集体的愚昧感。但是你会发现，当你开始坐禅的时候，你看，就像我们大家一样，不是也一样聚到了一起吗？虽然那个我们这个就是这个 Zoom 哈，这个会是免费的，大家可以免费来参加。呃，但是你是因为想成为这个一员而参加来我们这个集体一起坐禅的吗？那为什么你要来参加这个呢？你是因为高兴想来参加吗？还是为了寻求什么来大家聚在一块儿来参加这个事情？老师说，如果你就好像一个人其实很难完成坐禅或修行这件事情。你比如你每天可能做半个小时，或者是你一周做半个小时，你可能坚持哈，可能自己能够战胜困难，可你能够坚持。像我之前2天跟老师一起参加那个接心活动，一共是5天，每天15个小时，那么长时间的坐禅，自己一个人是不可能完成的，你需要一个组织，大家一起来完成。也就是说，我们都是凡人，每个人都有惰性。当你一个人练习的时候，其实是很脆弱，你很难维持一个练习，很难稳定下来一个练习。所以我们需要集体。当然，集体有它愚昧的地方，就是说集体容易把你带到一个集体会领着你去到一个愚昧的地方，就是给你灌输一种思想。但是呢，集体也会帮助你完成一些事情，比如像我们佛教哈，佛家里面讲到那个有3宝。其中一个就是三个是集体的意思，就是我们这些聚会，就是其中的1宝。它其实是在那个佛教 待会儿我下课给大家再查一下具体中文怎么翻译的哈，它是里面是一个，所以说没有集体呢也是很难参加到练习当中来的，大概是这个意思。
The next quote is on page 15 at the top, quite short. You do everything that people praise you for. You run after those who are praised. You are never yourself. So when Sawaki Roshi said that, that was 50 years ago or even earlier. But today, probably that tendency is even stronger in the age of the internet. People do everything for a thumbs up. And the so-called influencers who do that, they are called influencers because the others follow them. If people have lots of followers, people think, well, that guy has something to say. And you are never yourself. You're never yourself. You're always playing somebody else in the hope that people will like that and follow you for that. You do everything that people praise you for. You run after those who are praised. You are never yourself. Okay, maybe Xuan-san can translate that, and then after that, if you have questions, please start with the questions.
然后下面这一条有点短，我给大家简单说一下书上怎么写的。就是我们每一个人呢，其实你总是做一些别人称赞你的事情，别人称赞你的事情，你总是想做这些事情，你总是追赶在别人的称赞后面，你总是追着别人夸你什么事情做得好，你总是追着这些事情做，然后你从来都不是你自己。这个是那个是在书上写的哈。刚刚老师就是这本书大概是15年前吧，这是泽木老师写的。然后他其实如果是搁到现在这个社会，可能这种现象更严重，因为我们现在网络这么发达，大家交流也很发达。你可能为了网上大家点赞，或者是为了一些粉丝哈，为大家就是来追，就是那个关注你的微博啊，或者是朋友圈，你可能表现出来是别人喜欢你的那一面，而并不是你自己的那一面。现在这个社会可能会更明显，所以你很多的时候呢，你根本不是你自己，你是在追着别人对你的称赞而表现出来一个好像想让别人来喜欢你的那一面，其实那个不是你。所以这个就是这一条哈。老师说，大家有问题可以提，然后我们后面时间作为大家讨论。
Okay, do you have any questions? Anything you would like to share? Yes, Liat-san, please. Liat.
Hi.
Hi.
I would like to share some point of view that about our interconnection. Maybe one of the ways about Sangha is a little reminder for the co-living of everything in this world. So when we say we are not existing, there is no such thing as just liat, because it cannot be. So we now are reminded by Sangha for that fundamental fact that we are not able to live without each other. So this is one point that came to my mind about group.
Yes, yeah. I agree, yeah. Xuan-san. Xuan-san, do you have a question? Something to share? Can you hear me, Xuan? or maybe my connection
Yeah,
is
about
bad.
last like I can hear me. Internet
Yeah, now
can
I
you hear me?
can hear you, but probably my connection is not stable. But please, probably the other can hear you.
I
But
can hear both of you just saying. Yes.
okay, good.
About the you do everything that people prize you for. I really feel that because when I teach yoga, if you always tell the student the truth, it's hard to teach. Also, sometimes it's hard to help people to practice. I feel like sometimes it's not cheating, but sometimes you have to say something the student like to listen. Like even it's not the really truth we say, but sometimes you have to, as a teacher, you want the people continue to practice, you want the people to continue your class, or you want the people keep the how to say ever how do I say, like the people wanted to practice, it's very difficult. So also the students really like to listen the teacher say, oh, I'm doing this good, I'm doing that good. Sometimes if we always say, oh, maybe you need more time to do practice more or be more patient, or you see some problems, you strictly tell the student, maybe they will stop practicing. So I think that's what I feel during when I teach, also my own practice. I like the teacher say, I like to listen the teacher say, oh, you're doing a good job, or you're doing a hard work. Sometimes if the teacher say, oh, this is not right, that's not right, you're just doing this for your ego, or like, and then I feel depressed. I feel, oh, I don't want to continue. Oh, I feel it's hard for me to practice. I just share the experience.
Yeah, probably it's the same for all of us, and probably in the beginning when you're the teacher, you have to be a little bit diplomatic and kind of not be too harsh in the beginning, but then eventually it's important for both the teacher and the student to really say what's the fact. And for the student it can be quite difficult then to adapt to this change when it occurs, maybe after a year or two. Until then the teacher had only praise, oh, you do this very good, very good, very good. But then after a while he says, well, maybe you should change this and maybe that, and maybe and it can be a big surprise. But until then there was only praise, and does the teacher not like me anymore, whatever. But that's when it's like when you grow up, and until you're 3 or 4 or 5 years old, you get only love from the parents. But at a certain age, they tell you how maybe you should learn how to tie your shoes by yourself, and maybe you can help to bring your dishes and put them into the sink. But that's what it means to grow up. And also in practice, it's important that we grow up, and what I used to call adult practice, and I wrote a lot on the Antaiji website 15 years ago or so about this adult practice. Basically this: you don't practice for the teacher, you don't practice to be praised. You practice because you want to practice.
Yeah, also I feel in Japan, kukio yumu, like people they don't really say it straightly. Sometimes like Japanese tademae, because
Yes.
tademae, like if you honyo dashitara shisure, if you say what you really feel, sometimes they feel, oh, you're why you do that?
Mm-mm.
I feel a little bit, but we all live in a society. I think we needed to watch the word also to read your mind to
Yeah.
be balanced.
Yeah, in Japan, usually people don't criticize you directly. So when you listen, you have to listen very well. For what do I don't get praised? So the teacher praises you for A, B, C, D. So then you have to think, well, what is E, F, G that he doesn't mention? Because that's usually what's important. So what could it be that E, F, G that he's not mentioning? That's probably what I have to work on. Yeah, that's important. Yeah. Liat, please.
Two things about connecting with Xuan. I think one is about giving water. Like for example, in my plants, I have some plants, and sometimes they look a little bit dead. And then I give them water, and I give them water anyway for all the plants. So it's like the praise. I believe in them. Like they will be okay. I give them water, so it's like a praise for the plant, you know. This is one point, and the other one about environment. Like we do want to come to a nice environment. This is basic, yeah. So in a nice environment, if you are mature, you know that you are loved. And now, yes, please take your dishes and put them in the sink, and maybe you wash them as well. So kind of, but I think for my plants, some of them are really spoiled. But I give them anyway, you know, water. So it's not.
Yeah, the plants don't do their own dishes, unfortunately. Yeah. Do you have any other questions? Anything else you would like to share?
Yes, Echo, yeah.
Aiko, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. My connection is not too good, but I can hear you.
Was there a phrase today that said you have to become transparent to yourself?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, do I remember that right?
Yes.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah, it is essential that you become transparent to yourself and wake up from this madness. Becoming transparent to oneself. Well, in a way, it means to kind of see yourself as you are, or to look through, kind of to understand. Sawaki is not saying here, but what I connect to that is to understand that you're not only the actor on the stage that you used to identify with. Of course, that's also you, but you're this invisible, whatever the stage itself. And if you only look at the actor, there's no transparency. But if you understand that you're the stage, in a way, it's like the actor is still there, but the actor becomes more transparent. So it's not that you disappear. Pardon?
Maybe you said something very good there, but I didn't get everything because of the connection. The words were very hanging. but let's say it like when the Buddha is recognizing that he is Buddha, or someone is recognizing group madness or group stupidity, but when you wake up from that and you in the whole world, the Sangha, I don't know if Muhu is still there, but anyway.
Sorry, I was away for half a minute to check the LAN cable, and I think now the connection is better, but I didn't hear what you said.
I cannot repeat everything. Maybe it's on the
On the records, maybe. Yeah. But now the connection is much better. There was a problem with the cable. Okay, anything else you would like to share, or that you would like to ask? Nothing? It seems it's just 9 o'clock, so if you have no more questions, nothing you would like to share, then we could finish for today and meet again next week, same time. Aiko has something.
There is a question in the chat.
In the chat, okay. There's a question. By Chris. I really believe the growing up concept of adult practice is very essential, but doesn't Dogen not focus on a process or goal? Is there any paradox there? Is there any paradox there? I don't really think so. I mean, Dogen in, for example, the Gakudo Yojinsu, the 10 points to keep in mind when practicing the way, he's talking about an attitude that you need for practice that in my mind is adult practice, and also the last work in the Shobo Genzo, it's called in Japanese Hachidai Ninkaku, 8 awarenesses of a true adult. I can write the characters in the chat function. But well, the Japanese word for grown-up person or adult is right in the middle of this. So that's the title of the last chapter of the Shobo Genzo. So I don't think that Dogen Zenji is telling us to stay childish. Of course, adult practice doesn't mean that we are gradually kind of trying to grow up, but you have to, well, be aware it's your practice. You don't practice for the teacher. The teacher is not some substitute for a parent.
I know we're going over this. I don't want to keep you too long, but I just thought of something. Maybe I was misunderstanding Dogen a little bit and thinking that he was saying that Zazen is just enlightenment here and now. He was not denying the original enlightenment concept. He was accepting it in his own way. But now I'm thinking maybe that's not true. Maybe because when he asked the master in China, why does he have to practice if everyone's enlightened? I don't really understand the master's answer, but maybe he was saying that you do need to have a process in a gradual process in the conventional world to become enlightened. Or am I now I don't know which one it is.
Well, Dogen's original question was, if we are already Buddhas, why do we have to practice? And the answer that he finally found is because we are Buddhas, we have to practice. There is nothing in between being a Buddha and practice. And he doesn't use the words grown up or adult and childish, but kind of in my view, and maybe also in Dogen's view, if you look back at his original question, that would be a kind of childish question. Like, for example, if you're a cook, it would be childish to say, I'm a cook already, why should I cook? Because you are a cook, you cook. And because you're cooking, you're a cook. There's nothing in between there. So I don't really see why adult practice should in any way contradict what Dogen says, that practice and, well, Satori or what you could say manifestation are one. That's what Dogen Zenji says. I don't see any conflict there.
Yeah, it sounds like the original question is not answered from the same level or framework, in that it's kind of just disappears when he changes when you realize the answer, it's kind of disappears. It's, to me, it sounds like that. Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah, and yeah, when was it? The time switched back from summertime to normal time, standard time in Europe. But here in Japan, it's the same time all over the year. So that means that this class for the people that attend in Europe is 1 hour earlier than usual. Starts at 12. Lunch now and is at 1 o'clock. Well, if you have no other questions, nothing more to share, let's meet again this time. So that would be 12 o'clock in Central Europe, 8 o'clock in the evening in Japan. So thank you everybody for attending. Thank you, Xuan, for hosting us, and have a nice week. See you again.
大家感兴趣
Thank you. Bye.
那几个。